It's a project that has motivated a team of 300 engineers with a big dream, launching the Hyperloop into its next test phase, transporting the very first human passengers at lightning speeds.
Ready to change the world.
We traveled to the launch site to see for ourselves.
40 miles from the Las Vegas Strip in the heart of the desert, Virgin's Hyperloop One is an impressive site, about a 1,500-foot-long test track. And today we're about to witness a milestone in transportation history.
Hyperloop technology uses magnets to levitate a passenger pod above a track, pushing it forward in a vacuum tube at speeds of up to 600 miles per hour. Imagine the speed of an airplane, the convenience of a train, and the company says you get both with zero direct emissions. The travel time from New York to Washington, D.C., just 30 minutes. Or Houston to Dallas in under 25.
It's just going to be so smooth that if you're drinking a cup of coffee, you won't even spill it.
The first two passengers, Josh Geigel, who is Virgin Hyperloop's co-founder and chief technology officer, and Sara Luchien, the company's director of passenger experience.
I barely slept last night. The only people that will usually go in this type of environment are people in spacesuits. Sara and I are not in spacesuits. This is the type of person that will be getting on a Hyperloop in the future. This system is safe enough for us to walk into.
Several Hyperloop companies have been expanding on the idea first created by Tesla CEO Elon Musk in 2013. But with the launch of real passengers, Virgin's Hyperloop may have jumped into the lead, just 6 years after Josh started the company in his garage. To start the launch, Josh and Sara entered the pod, which was pushed into a depressurization chamber, creating a vacuum.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
It's a tense few seconds.
Give me peak speed, baby. Give me peak speed.
And finally, success at 107 miles per hour in under 10 seconds.
Sara, from your perspective as a passenger on board, what did it feel like?
It was smoother than expected. It was easy. It was quiet. It was great.
How does this translate to reality, perhaps, in the very near future?
Well, it might have been 1,500 feet, but that was longer than the Wright brothers' first flight. I think for us as a company, the first flight doesn't need to be long to show how far we can actually go.
From the Las Vegas desert to eventually connecting cities around the world, the vision here is a cleaner and greener commute that will transform the way people live and work. Talk about the human element to this. You know, what seems impossible, when you put enough brilliant brains behind it, becomes very possible.
This has been such a difficult year for so many people for so many reasons. And when you have enough people dreaming a cohesive dream together about a better future, and you pick the right team, it's tremendous what they can accomplish together.
Wow. Guys, the team has run more than 400 unoccupied tests prior to this first test with the passengers. And you saw the pod there comfortably seating 2, but the future pod would comfortably seat 28 people. And the idea is it would work like an elevator. It would be on call. You press the button and a pod moves in. It would not operate on a fixed schedule like a train schedule, meaning that every 30 seconds or so, a new pod could just shoot off down the tube, which would be pretty cool.
So would you do it, Natalie?
Absolutely. I was like, please, can I try? I said, I'll be your guinea pig next time. Your real first passenger that's not part of the company.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, to be able to get somewhere that quickly is a game changer. Can you imagine?
Natalie, I have 2 questions. One, I know they said it was nice and smooth, but could they actually feel the speed? Like, I'm just imagining, like, Rock and Roller Coaster down in Disney and imagining it, like, just throwing me back into my seat. And 2, could this actually become a reality?
Yeah, you know, interesting. First part of the question first. It has like 2-time G forces. So they say you don't really feel it. It's like air travel, what you feel in an airplane, but except you're not feeling anything on the sides, so you're not getting pushed around sideways. So it's just straight down the tube. Now, in terms of how close this is to reality, the company says that they hope within a decade or so they could potentially have a few cities connected this way. But there are, of course, a lot of challenges going forward, including the technical side, but also having the land space and the rights for such a network that would have to be established.
That makes sense. feel like it's going to happen, though. I mean, do you remember watching the Jetsons and seeing them talk to people?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, can you imagine talking to someone and seeing their face?
Right?
Same
Or Star Wars when you shoot out the pods. Yeah.
Exactly. That was great. All right. Thank you, Natalie.
Hey, Nat,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Craig.
Well, no, I was just going to say I would imagine there would probably also be some regulatory issues as well. But one of the things I love about this story, a few minutes ago we were talking about the possibility of Pfizer coming up with this vaccine finally. This idea that we can still do big, great things in this country, whether it's a Hyperloop or coming up with a vaccine in 6 months.
Absolutely, and I think that's truly the human element to the story here is, a lot of brilliant people out there, if they put their brains to it, they can accomplish what seems to be the impossible and make it possible in a short amount of time. So, yes, this system of transportation could very much well exist within the next 10 years. And they say, it's been over a century since we've had a new system of mass transportation. So we need to start thinking about the future.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And Craig bringing us the positive there. Thank you, Reverend Melvin.
Natalie, thank you so much. So nice to see you.
See you guys.